Good morning, students. In the last class, we had studied the definition of a transformer and its principle. We had defined transformer as a device that changes the alternating voltage. Changes means either it will increase the voltage or it will decrease the voltage. And we had also seen that it is based on the principle of mutual induction. Today, we shall study the construction of a transformer and its working. The figure for construction of the transformer is shown here. We have two coils, primary P and secondary S. Both the coils are wound on the same soft iron core. The alternating voltage to be changed is applied to the primary and the output is taken across the secondary. Now this core is made of soft iron. Soft iron is a ferromagnetic substance. The property of a ferromagnetic substance is it will allow the magnetic field lines to pass through it very easily. So when current passes through the primary coil, a flux will be linked with the primary coil. This flux will be linked to the secondary through this soft iron core. There will be no flux leakage. So this flux linked with the primary is also linked with the secondary because of the soft iron core. Now let us go to the working of this transformer. Now in the previous chapter, electromagnetic induction, we had seen that when current passes through a coil, then a magnetic field is produced inside it and therefore a flux is linked with it. And if you change the magnetic flux, then EMF is induced in the coil. And the magnitude of induced EMF is given by Faraday's law. So according to Faraday's law, induced EMF E is equals to minus d phi by dt. So what is d phi by dt? d phi by dt is the rate of change of magnetic flux. So whenever there is change in magnetic flux, an EMF is induced. Now this principle we shall apply it to a transformer. So here the alternating voltage to be varied is applied to the primary. Therefore an alternating current passes through the primary coil. So what do you mean by alternating current? Alternating current means its magnitude and direction continuously changes with time. So this is a changing current. So when this changing current passes through the primary coil, the magnetic flux linked with the primary coil changes. And therefore this flux is also linked to the secondary. Therefore the flux linked with the secondary also changes. Therefore an EMF is induced in the primary coil and also an EMF will be induced in the secondary coil. So we shall first find out expressions for EMF induced in the primary coil and also EMF induced in the secondary coil. Let us say NP is the number of turns in the primary coil. EMF induced in the primary coil we shall call as EP and IP is the current through the primary coil. The corresponding terms in the secondary coil are NS is the number of turns, EMF induced is ES in the secondary coil and current in the secondary coil is IS. Now both the coils have got same area, therefore the rate of change of flux per turn of any coil will be the same. Let us say d phi upon dt is the rate of change of magnetic flux for one turn of the coil, any coil, primary or secondary. Now first we shall find out EMF induced in the primary coil. So EMF induced is nothing but minus sign rate of change of flux. Now for one turn the change of flux is d phi by dt. In the primary coil there are NP number of turns. So what will be the total change in the flux? That will be minus NP into d phi upon dt. So this will be nothing but the EMF induced in the primary coil, that is EP will be nothing but minus NP into d phi by dt. d phi by dt is the rate of change of flux for one turn, and because there are NP turns, the total rate of change of flux will be minus NP into d phi upon dt. So this is the EMF induced in the primary coil. And for an ideal transformer, the resistance of a primary coil is almost negligible. Therefore, this EMF induced in the primary coil will be equal to the voltage across the primary coil. We shall call it as Vp. So, voltage across the primary coil Vp is equals to minus Np d phi upon dt. Now, let us find out the EMF induced in the secondary coil. So, d phi by dt is the rate of change of magnetic flux for one turn. In the secondary coil, there are ns number of turns. So what will be the total rate of change of magnetic flux for the secondary coil? It will be minus ns into d phi upon dt, and this will be equal to the EMF induced in the secondary coil. So ES will be equals to minus ns d phi upon dt. Now, if there is no load resistor in the secondary circuit, if the secondary circuit is an open circuit, then this EMF induced in the secondary coil will be equal to the voltage across it. Let us call it as Vs. So we got expressions for the input voltage Vp and the output voltage Vs. Now let us simplify these equations. Let us take the ratio Vs upon Vp. So if I take the ratio Vs upon Vp, the common term is d phi upon dt and the minus sign, it gets cancelled. So what will be the ratio Vs upon Vp? Vs upon Vp will be nothing but ns upon Np. Dividing equation for Vs by the equation for Vp, you will get Vs upon Vp is equals to ns upon Np. So let us call this equation as equation 1. Now let us define power for an ideal transformer. So you know, in the last session we have done instantaneous power is the product of voltage and current. P is equals to V into I. For an ideal transformer, we assume that there is no loss in power. There is no loss in power means what? Input power should be same as the output power. That is, we write the equation input power is equals to output power. Then what is an expression for input power? Power is the product of voltage and current. So we shall write for input power as Vp into Ip. Vp is your input voltage, Ip is your input current. Now let us write for output power. It is taken across the secondary. So voltage across the secondary Vs into current through the secondary, that is Is. So we have the equation Vp Ip is equals to Vs Is. Let us simplify this equation. Let us take Vs upon Vp. So the ratio Vs, Vp on the other side if you take, you will get Vs upon Vp. This will be equal to Ip upon Is from this equation. So let us call this as equation 2. Now you observe equations 1 and 2. Both are for Vs upon Vp. So you can easily equate equations 1 and 2. So we shall write like this. First is Ns upon Np. Ns upon Np is equals to Vs upon Vp, and Vs upon Vp is same as Ip upon Is. So you got the final equation like this. Ns by Np equals to Vs upon Vp is equals to Ip upon Is. And this ratio of the number of turns Ns upon Np is called as the turns ratio. It is also called as transformation ratio. So this is all about the working of a transformer. Now, based on this turns ratio, we can define the two types of transformers. One is the step-up transformer, another is the step-down transformer. Let us say Ns is greater than Np. First case, Ns greater than Np. The meaning is number of turns in the secondary are more than number of turns in the primary. So if you have Ns greater than Np, numerator greater than the denominator, then here also numerator will be greater than denominator. So Vs will be greater than Vp. Again numerator should be greater than denominator, that is Ip will be greater than Is. What is the meaning? Vs is greater than Vp, but Ip is greater than Is. So here input is applied to the primary and output is taken across the secondary. So this subscript P refers to input and subscript S refers to output. So let us find out meaning of this. Here output voltage is greater than the input voltage, but the output current is less than the input current. The meaning is, if the voltage increases, the current decreases. And such a transformer, we call it as what transformer? A step-up transformer. So you can, if you increase the voltage, you will be decreasing the current. You cannot increase both. You have to increase only one. If you increase voltage, current will decrease. Now let us go to the other way. Let us assume that Ns is less than Np. The meaning is, number of turns in the secondary coil are less than the number of turns in the primary coil. So let us put this condition in this equation. Here, the numerator is less than the denominator. Therefore, Vs should be less than Vp. I have written it here. Vs less than Vp. Again, numerator less than denominator. That is, Ip is less than Is. Let us try to find out meaning of this term. Vs less than Vp means what? Output voltage is less than the input voltage, but the output current is more than the input current. So what happens here? Here the voltage decreases, but the current increases. So such a transformer is called as a step down transformer. So we have two types of transformer based on the turns ratio. So one type is step up transformer, in which voltage increases, current decreases. Another is a step down transformer, in which voltage decreases but current increases. Now, where these transformers are used? So at the generating station, where electricity is produced by a generator, a step up transformer is used. So here the voltage will be increased and the current will be decreased. So what happens if the current decreases? Let us go to the power loss. You know P is equals to VI. V is nothing but IR. So it will be IR into I. That will be I square R. So power loss will be I square R. So if the current is more, then the power loss will be more. That is, more heat will be lost when it passes through a wire. Therefore, if the current is small, if the current decreases, naturally the power loss also decreases. That is why a step up transformer is used at the generating station, and this step up voltage is passed through the transmission lines and it reaches the distribution station. So what happens at the distribution station? There a step down transformer is used. The meaning is, the voltage will be decreased in this by this step down transformer. So this low voltage is given to the houses and industries. So whatever AC mains you are receiving for your household activities, that is nothing but 230 volts. So we don't require a high voltage there. So the transformer which is there on the poles, electric poles, that is nothing but your step down transformer. So it converts high voltage to low voltage, and then it is distributed to the houses and industries. So at the generating station, a step up transformer is used, whereas in the distribution center and on the poles, a step down transformer is used. So let us revise what points we have done just now. First is, we have described the construction of a transformer. It consists of two coils wound on the same soft iron core. Then we have seen the working of a transformer. So whenever alternating voltage is applied to the primary, alternating current flows through the primary. Therefore, flux linked with the primary coil changes, and hence the flux linked with the secondary also changes. Therefore, an EMF is induced in the primary coil and an EMF is also induced in the secondary coil. So according to Faraday's law, we have found out expression for EMF induced in the primary coil and the secondary coil. They are equal to voltage across the primary and voltage across the secondary. Then we have taken the ratio of Vs upon Vp. We have shown that Vs upon Vp is equals to Ns upon Np. Then we have considered an ideal transformer where there is no power loss, that is input power is equals to output power. From that we got the equation Vs upon Vp is equals to Ip upon Is. So equating equations 1 and 2, we got an equation for a transformer. What is the equation? Ns upon Np is equals to Vs upon Vp, that is equals to Ip upon Is. Now based on this turns ratio, that is Ns upon Np, we have two types of transformer. One is a step up transformer in which voltage increases but current decreases. Another is a step down transformer in which voltage decreases but current increases. So where these transformers are used? At the generating station we are using a step up transformer, and at the distribution center and at the poles we are using the step down transformer.